Hello, everybody. I hope you guys had a good weekend. Today is August 11th, 2025, and it's roughly about almost 9 a.m., 9 o'clock in the morning. Um, so I wanted to talk a little bit about what is happening with 97L, or how I explain in all the videos, investigation area 97L. I'm going to show you some pretty good info today, potential tracks, etc., strength, and all that good stuff. So what you guys are seeing right now is the satellite imagery. As of this morning, 97L had a very robust structure, as you guys can see at the beginning of the frame. Now it's kind of losing a little bit of its punch as it's moving west. And nothing to fear or worry about, because storms do go through cycles, obviously. They don't just ramp up and stay there. They weaken, they re-strengthen, etc. But one of the interesting points here is that at least is catching my eye, even though it seems to be losing a little bit of convection, is the fact that it's starting to burst again on the bottom. Like if you guys kind of, kind of draw it a little bit better. But right there in the last frame, you guys can see how it's kind of right here, loose, or having a little bit of its convection towards the south side. Now, it is typical for storms, or not typical, but I want to say frequent, where storms actually, the center of circulation does migrate or rotate depending on the conditions, especially at the very beginning. So at the beginning stages, when there's not like a well-defined center of circulation. So that's something that it may be happening here. I'm not saying that it is for sure, but it may be happening. Now, one key here also, let me actually show you the spaghetti models, so you guys see what some of the models are saying. And if you guys can see here, the majority of the models, at least from the GFS ensemble, the majority haven't curving out to C. Now, of course, this is all the area that is kind of it's almost like even though the majority of the models are curving out to C, you still have a lot of models that are having it potentially making landfall anywhere on those locations. But the consensus here is that the majority of the models have it curving out to C and not affecting anyone. Now, let's see. Also, take a look at the intensity model or intensity guidance as of last update. You guys can see that the consensus here is that the majority of the models have this becoming a hurricane in potentially about 4 days, 5 days, or about 4 days roughly. Probably more than half actually have it becoming a hurricane. Now, I am expecting this to change and actually becoming a hurricane sooner than that. And this is a reason why I say that. So if I go back, well, actually, before I switch, let me actually show you what some of the guidance is on the track and potential landfall. So this is the GFS model. GFS has it kind of becoming pretty. Got back off a little bit there. No, still blocking the numbers. Okay, roughly right there, about 970 as it approaches or goes very, very close to Puerto Rico, and then kind of curving out to sea, potentially clipping or impacting directly Bermuda as a pretty strong hurricane. Now, if I go back and show the European has a similar scenario, but it takes a little bit closer. Excuse me, a little bit closer to the United States. Now, the European AI has it even getting closer to the U.S., or especially to the Virgin Islands. Let's put it this way, in Puerto Rico, because you guys can see that it's brushing Puerto Rico very, very close. The Canadian model, again, very strong hurricane curving out to sea and potentially impacting Nova Scotia or New England area. And then one last model, the European model, basically kind of stops right there, but it's pretty. That one so far has shown the curving to begin a lot sooner than the majority of the models. And again, I just want to emphasize this is going to change whether it's gonna get for closer to land, or is it going to curve out to sea sooner? It all depends. A lot has to do with how strong the storm becomes and how soon it becomes. So keep in mind, guys, that if this forms sooner than, let's say, 4 days from now, let's say it becomes a hurricane a lot sooner, then that will increase the chance of the storm kind of curving out to sea sooner. Stronger storms tend to feel the atmosphere changes a lot better than a weaker storm. So with that in mind, this may actually start turning quicker. But it can also continue to track further west, and it has happened many times where the forecasting models are wrong, and we're gonna have a pretty good idea once the hurricane hunters go in, as far as exact location, and that will give us a better idea of a potential track. Now let's take a look at see what the National Hurricane Center said as of the 8 a.m. update. So obviously it's giving it a 90% chance of development within 48 hours. So in a couple days, 90% of some becoming named. But I believe it may happen sooner than that. And this is basically, they also believe that too. So let me read this to you guys. It says, shower and thunderstorm activity has persisted and continues to show signs of organization with a well-defined area of low pressure located just to the west of the Cabo Verde Islands. If these structural trends continue, the system is likely to become a tropical depression or storm, possibly as soon as later this morning. So in other words, as of the 11 a.m. update, it may actually become Tropical Storm Erin. So we'll have to keep an eye on this, but that seems to be the trend. And Cabo, let's see what else. Let me finish reading this. So locally, heavy rain and gusty winds are expected to continue later across portions of the Cabo Verde Islands, and interest there should monitor the progress. Excuse me. But the point here is, guys, that there's a pretty good chance that this is going to develop and get named today. But again, this is just to give you guys a little bit of feedback on it, a little bit of background, what is happening, just a short video. We will have a better idea what's going to happen with this storm today, and then, of course, the upcoming days. But I wanted to keep you guys posted as usual. Thank you guys for watching. If you have families and friends in the Virgin Islands or Bermuda, please warn them. Keep an eye on the tropics, okay? Nothing to be alarmed as of now, but want to keep an eye on the tropics. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.